Emily, thanks. Parents in Appleton who don't take responsibility for their kids being chronically absent from school could face more accountability.
The district now considering options for truancy, which includes citing parents at the elementary school level. Jason Zimmerman continues to look into this story. He's live in Appleton now with the first alert update. Jason.
Bill, this was a proposal discussed during a recent school board meeting after the release of a report highlighting chronic absenteeism in the district. Right now, the problem applies to more than 1 in 10 elementary school students, a number which has doubled since the COVID-19 pandemic. For school administrators, the numbers are somewhat troubling, as a new report highlights a chronic absenteeism rate among elementary school students in the Appleton area school district at 11.3%. That's about 875 kids.
Kindergarten is one of our higher grades of attendance troubles. And so we're really trying to look at how do we focus on K-1, 2.
Some of the solutions being discussed include ways to improve transportation and the relevancy of learning in the classroom, but also citing parents at the elementary school level and students themselves in the grades above that.
In Appleton, we don't have a citation, so there's not a way locally to enforce the state law around attendance. And so we're going to engage the city and the county and come together and say, all right, could we be doing something different here with having a citation?
Among Appleton high school students, almost 1 in 4 are missing too much time in the classroom right now. At the state level, lawmakers are also taking notice, with the Assembly forming a special task force to address truancy. One member recently introduced a bill preventing students who miss more than 30 days of classroom instruction from advancing to the next grade level.
Setting standards and holding kids accountable for their behavior is absolutely critical to them becoming good citizens down the road.
Again, happy that the state legislature is looking at these challenges because they are pervasive across our state, but want to be careful that we aren't overly consequential, overly punitive.
District officials will be meeting with members of the City Council and County Board over the next couple of weeks, but at this time, there's no timetable for when this item could be on an agenda. Reporting live in Appleton, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.